For the kids at home wanting to know, what age were you when you really discovered you had that pace?
Probably around about the age of 16, I think. I was playing for Campbelltown first grade, and it was at the stage where I started to grow a bit. Most kids, you know, I guess I wasn't different growing up. I grew very, very late, you know, in my sort of early teenage years, and it was about the age of 16 the ball started to fly through, and I thought, well, getting the ball around 150 k's. So.
OK, well, let's get stuck into the emails. The first one is from Sam. He's 15, New South Wales. And the question, g'day, Brett, what advice do you have on bowling a great outswinger? And I've got to say, as an opening batsman, if you get a good outswinger, it's hard to face. Over to you.
Well, it is hard to face, and I guess outswinger is my stock ball. Thank you, Slats, for the umbrella work. I always try to make sure the shiny side, yes, it could be a brand new ball, but you can still swing the older ball. But always shine one side, being on the right-hand side, opposite to the way that you want to swing it. My seam position was always straight down the line there. Some bowlers do hold the ball together. I hold the ball slightly apart. Whichever works for you is the best, but you've got to make sure that you get your fingers right behind the ball and the ball has to come out straight. So you've got to stand the seam up and give it every opportunity to swing. It is your stock ball, so it's your bread and butter. Make sure you get the ball on the right line. If you're bowling too wide, the ball starts outside of stump and swings away. You're going to waste the ball. So I always used to aim middle stump, try and swing the ball away, get that perfect nick. Action's very important as well. Now, with a side-on action, or a classic side-on action, we'll go down and check out the feet, the lovely shoes here, the footwork. I tend to bowl a side-on action with your foot facing towards the batsman, your back foot parallel with the crease, and your hips, and also your shoulders in one line, and coming through with that perfect action. You can also bowl front on to swing the ball away, as Malcolm Marshall did. Glenn McGrath did also. He held the ball dead straight. His foot was facing towards the batsman, and also his front foot. I was semi-side on. I was about half and half, so, and still managed to swing the ball. Now, we have some footage here of me bowling to a batsman. I think it might have been Sachin Tendulkar when I was trying to nick him out, and just bowl that perfect ball there. Although I didn't actually get the nick, it was one of those things where you bowl the perfect line and you try and force the batsman to come forward, Slats.
All right, let's move on to the intimidating bouncer. That's the next question, and that comes from Victoria. How do you bowl an effective bouncer? We're just going to get taken out by the covers here, so we're being peppered with bouncers as we speak. It's getting very heavy, and this is live TV, folks. This is exactly what can happen. OK, the bouncer. Hated facing the bouncer. You love bowling them.
I did love bowling the bouncer, but it had to be used as an intimidatory ball. So the bouncer wasn't always to try and knock the batsman out. I didn't like hurting batsmen, although I might sort of put that big brave face on. But the bouncer, great ball to bowl. Use it sparingly. Don't try and overdo it. I tend to hold the ball dead straight again. Seams right behind the ball. Little gap there. You can hold it across, but I didn't want to give the batsman too much knowledge as at the top of my mark that he'd know they'll be bowling the bouncer. So get in. The ball release would be slightly longer, so I'd be holding the ball a little bit longer to get most trajectory off the wicket and try and get the batsman and the ball to come fly past the batsman. Now, there's a ball I was bowling against Andrew Strauss. I think it was at the Gabba a long, long time ago. Try and get the ball up there, try and bowl that perfect ball and get the batsman to go up there and play on his tip of his toes. Ideally, you'd love to get the ball to nick it, but it doesn't happen. But you want to set the ball and the batsman up in order to do that next ball, which we'll be speaking about in a second.
You've got to love hitting batsmen. Did you enjoy when you hurt a batsman?
I'm a bit of a softie. No, I didn't. And as I said, you might put that big brave face on, but as long as the batsman didn't get hurt or didn't get injured, which sometimes they do, unfortunately, but, you know, they wear productive or protective clothing these days, so most batsmen are okay these days.
And if you sit a batsman down, do you bowl it full the next one?
Well, that's the thing. You've got to work out what is the most important ball to bowl next. And I think we'll have a bit of a chat about the Yorker, which might be the next email.
That's right. Let's go to the third and final email of the day. And it's from South Australia. Tim has said, I've been trying to bowl a nice ball and a full one. I'm looking for that unplayable Yorker. Can you help me?
Well, the Yorker to me was one of my favourite balls to bowl. It's when you totally deceive the batsman. You run in, you've set the batsman up. So you've been bowling your stock ball, the outswing, as we've spoken about. You've bowled the bouncer sparingly. You're holding that Yorker back. As Mark Taylor has helped me out through my career, don't bowl the full ball and also the short ball too much. Use it sparingly. When you finally bowl it, make it count. So I would steam in, bowl that perfect Yorker, hopefully hit him on the toe, the batsman, or miss everything and knock his stumps out. There's an example here. I think I was bowling the Sarwan a few years ago as well, where I ran into bowl, set it up, bowled a perfect Yorker, swung in, hit his middle peg. As you can see, I'm pretty excited there. But I'd set the batsman up and totally deceived the batsman.
And with all the short forms of the game, T20, ODIs, Yorker's crucial.
Yorker's very crucial, and you've got to know where to bowl. We also these days bowl the wide line Yorker, which is a good option. But most importantly, I mean, the hardest shot I think personally to play is the one right at their toes. So get the ball up there, practice it, put 2 shoes on a good length, and just run in and actually work on it, kids. And that's the most important thing. These sort of shoes? Not these
Blue
shoes, no.
shoes?
But also,
are you looking at the spot on the pitch?
I don't really look anywhere where I bowl. I know that might sound funny, but to me, it's a feel thing. It's the whole visualisation. And when you bowl your bouncer, when you bowl your Yorker, there's an example here. I was bowling to Jacques Kallis about setting a batsman up. So I've come in to bowl to Jacques Kallis at the MCG, where I run in, I bowl a bouncer. I think it might have hit him on the side of the helmet.
It's a goodie, that.
Next ball, I could have gone in and bowled a short ball again, but I thought I'd bowl the Yorker, rip his pegs out, and that is, to me, is a perfect dismissal and a great way to get a batsman out.
It makes a difference if you can bowl upwards of 145, though, doesn't it? And all these deliveries at pace.
It does.
And I think that was the intriguing thing with you. Your Test cricket was outstanding. You're one of 4 to take over 300 wickets, but your one-day international accuracy, often the faster you bowl, the faster they can disappear to the boundary, but that didn't seem to be the case. So accuracy was a big thing for you.
Yeah, look, I worked very hard in the nets, and I worked for hours and hours on, as I said, putting 2 shoes on a good crease line length and try and knock those shoes with no batsman and try different things. Try bowling short balls nets, try bowling the ball out swinger. Shane Bond, a great bowler and has a fantastic one-day record. His stock ball was the in-swinger. So find out, kids, what works best for you, whether it's the out-swinger or the in-swinger, but definitely have a stock ball.
OK, 3 things for the kids to take away from this.
I think practice, most importantly, and as Heel said with all those P's, perfect practice is perfect, or is the best way to go about it. Have fun. It has to be enjoyable. It has to be a lot of fun. And most importantly, and strive. Try new things in the nets. Try, as I said, different balls, different ways to try and get a batsman out. But fast bowling's fun. It's hard work. But once you get it right, and as you see, when you bowl that perfect in-swinger, his stumps fly. It's the best feeling.
And tough work in India, isn't it, where you don't get the bounce and the pace out of the pitch.
And you don't see this green wicket, no.
I'm a fairly good bowler, but sometimes I spray it down the leg side. I know what you're talking about, Lachlan. What can I do to help me stop doing this?
Well, Lachlan, we've all done that in our past, mate. But I think most importantly, with an action, assuming you're bowling to a right-hand batsman, you could be spraying the ball down the leg side because you could be falling away a little bit. So I would say keep your arm up nice and straight, up as high as you can. Imagine there's something on the top of the net or a star in the sky. Rip it down and follow right through. If you're doing that and you're keeping your lines pretty simple, you shouldn't be spraying the ball down leg side. So hopefully that might help, mate.
I'm well amount of tea and soup too much reaction. It's working beautifully. Sam Connolly joins us from Queensland. He's 17 years of age. I'm a medium pace bowler. I'm having trouble with my back when I bowl. Do you think I have a problem with my action, or do I just have a crook back?
Well, Sam, I've been there. Unfortunately, I've broke my back twice. If your back is sore or the part of your body is sore, it's sore for a reason. So it's important that you might want to get your dad or some coach that you might have been coached from to maybe video you from behind or front on to see what you're doing with your hips and your shoulders. It's important that as a bowler that you keep your hips and shoulders in one line. And what I mean by that is that if you're front on, your hips are front on, your shoulders are front on. If you're side on, your hips are side on and your shoulders are side on. What happens is if you start to mix it, and what they call a mixed action or hyperextension counter rotation, that's when your back might get sore. So I'll suggest get some video, see if your action is mixed. If it's mixed, try and straighten up your legs and your shoulders, and hopefully that might fix the problem.
Just quickly, those back problems are generally base of the back or higher up?
I had mine down pretty low. The second lot was about sort of medium lumbar vertebrae. So it's actually amazing how much you learn about your body too when you're a fast bowler.
Zach from Queensland is our final email. I'd like to know what I need to do in the gym and what diet I need to have to become an express bowler like you.
Well, Zach, you're 15, mate. I would probably recommend for the next probably year or two. You don't need to do heavy weights, mate. You have to let your body grow. To me, I never really followed a diet. I just try to eat healthy. We've all been guilty of the odd treat every now and then. I'm a bit of a chocolate fan, mate, but eat in moderation. And what I've done in the gym since I've been playing cricket is just to try to improve a bit of strength. But I'd sort of recommend that you let your body grow up as much as you can, maybe to about 18, and then maybe start doing some light weights. But to bowl fast, you need to work on your fast twitch fibres, and what I mean by that is work on sprinting, make sure that your approach to the crease is really good, get strong, get your ab and your core strength really strong, look after your back. Good.
Zach's 15, I suppose. Brett Lee at 15, were you it was just bowling then, or was it starting to become scientific?
No, look, I sort of never touched the gym until I was 18 or 19 years of age, and even then it was only like light weights. So to me, sprinting was very, very important to me. I found that if I did 10, 15 sprints at most training sessions, over 30 metres, which is about my run-up, I found that I would run in a lot quicker, obviously. By the time I was playing in the game, I felt like my action and my approach was a lot more efficient.
Rhythm.
Yeah, and rhythm, and that's helped my bowling. So I wouldn't be touching weights at 15. That's my personal opinion, but making sure these bones grow up and everything like that first, and then maybe do some light weights.
Darn good advice.